Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, let's just dive right into this. You know, if you were paying attention to Google I/O recently, you probably felt like you were drinking from a fire hose of AI announcements. But what if I told you that the absolute most powerful, game-changing, creative AI tools were completely hidden from the main presentation? Yeah, seriously. Today, we are looking at what is essentially a treasure map of buried pro-level tools that Google quietly launched completely without that massive marketing hype. Because there was a really stark contrast in Google's messaging this year. Up on the main stage, it was all about broad AI updates, consumer-focused search generative UI, and, standard text generation. It was a bit noisy, honestly. But tucked away in the buried margins, well, that's where the real magic happened. We're talking professional-grade, workflow-focused tools, custom creative pipelines, and pro video and audio editing suites that are specifically designed for power users. So here is our roadmap for today's Explainer. Number 1, the Hidden Pro I/O. 2, Omni, the AI After Effects. 3, custom pipelines with Flow. 4, next-gen audio and music. And 5, Google's quiet domino strategy. All right, let's get right into it. Section 1, the Hidden Pro I/O. Section 2, Omni, the AI After Effects. Okay, to start off, we really have to acknowledge the elephant in the room here. A lot of creators went into I/O expecting a massive VO4 announcement on the main stage, and when that didn't happen, there was definitely some disappointment. So to clear up the naming confusion from the main stage, let's look at Omni's true purpose. Omni is not just a pure video generator meant to replace standard generation models. Actually, it is a completely new class of model powered by Gemini 3.0 Flash. It is fundamentally a compositing, editing, and remixing engine. It's trained to natively take in literally any type of input and generate any type of output. And right now, its primary focus is acting as the first iteration of a state-of-the-art multimodal video editor. In fact, Logan Kilpatrick from DeepMind literally said, "I keep calling it AI After Effects." Think about what that actually means for a creator's day-to-day workflow for a second. This isn't just about typing a prompt and getting a video back. No, this is about masking, character swapping, taking a screenshot from Google Maps, and letting the AI understand the environment to draw a completely accurate route. It's a full editing suite. But to truly unlock this editing suite, you need to connect it to custom pipelines. Which brings us to Section 3, Custom Pipelines with Flow. Now, if Omni is your editing bay, Google Flow is your ultimate creator playground, where you connect those edits into custom pipelines. I mean, just look at the sheer volume of experimental pro features available right now for anyone willing to scroll down into the margins of Google Flow. We've got blob tracking, depth warp, the highly requested whisk tool, a frame deconstructor, character X-ray, which, by the way, is absolutely incredible for pinpoint adjustments, and pixel bento for glitch effects. It is just a massive toolkit sitting right there in your browser. But here is where it gets truly wild. It's a process that's being dubbed vibe coding. Imagine you hit a workflow bottleneck, right? Say you need to manipulate the timing of a clip. Instead of pausing everything and searching for third-party software, you just auto-prompt the desired tool directly in Flow. Within moments, Flow generates a dedicated functional UI widget, like a custom time stretcher that lets you seamlessly slide from 0.1x all the way to 10x speed. You are literally coding custom UI tools just by asking for them. It's a total game changer. Oh, and tucked right next to all of this was a mind-bending experimental feature. They actually hooked up the Genie 3 world model directly to Google Street View, so you can type in a real-world address, generate a simulated 3D environment of that exact street, and then populate it with AI agents in a multiplayer space. Obviously, it's early days, but it is a massive glimpse into the future of interactive world building. Moving on to Section 4, Next-Gen Audio and Music. Because visuals are only half the battle, right? Let's pivot to next-gen audio and music production, which is powered by Google's Lyria 3 model. The Lyria team themselves acknowledge that if you are a power user, standard text prompts inside the regular Gemini chat box just aren't going to cut it. They specifically noted that they built tools for, and I quote, the more focused, advanced creator who wants to specifically work with music and music workflows. They recognize that pro audio creators absolutely require a distinct, dedicated workspace that is entirely separate from a basic consumer-level chatbot. When you compare standard Gemini to Flow music side by side, the difference is night and day. On one side, standard Gemini gives you short generations. It's very heavily consumer-focused. But on the other hand, Flow Music totally changes the game. It allows for in-depth remixing, generating covers, and crucially, stem splitting. You can isolate a bass line, replace an entire section of a song, and fine-tune the mix. This is a workflow built for actual working music producers. And hey, remember that vibe coding feature we talked about for video? Yeah, it works for audio too. You can literally vibe code your own custom VST plugins. If you need a hyper-specific stomp box that combines an EQ, a bit crusher, and a delay module all into one unit with physical-looking knobs, you just tell Flow to build it. It's an unprecedented level of customization for audio engineers. Just incredible stuff.
Section 5. Google's Quiet Domino Strategy.
So, with all these groundbreaking tools, Omni, Flow, vibe coding, Lyria, why did Google bury them? Why not put them front and center on the main keynote stage? Well, one of the creators at I.O. perfectly summarized this approach. They said, they're putting out domino bricks to make sure that they can continue to dominate in the industry. Google isn't relying on overinflated marketing hype right now. They might look slow to the public, but in reality, they are meticulously setting up their massive data ecosystem. They are aligning the dominoes for a massive cascade down the road.
And part of that strategy was a massive surprise dropped at the event, a brand new pricing tier of just $99 a month. By aggressively lowering the price barrier for these heavy-duty AI workspaces, Google is quietly making sure that power users adopt their ecosystem first, long before the competition even realizes what's happening. Ultimately, despite the sprawling naming conventions and the lack of flashy main-stage magic moments, Google is leaning on its ultimate trump card: user context. Because Google is so deeply integrated into our daily tech, from search to maps to our workspaces, they have a uniquely specific understanding of how we actually work. And this context is what allows them to build highly specific tools, like a custom UI widget generator, that actually solve real-world bottlenecks for creators. One of the experts at I.O. noted that we are standing in the foothills of the singularity. The tools are evolving faster than we can even track them, moving from simple text prompts to generating entire custom software interfaces right on the fly. So I want to leave you with this question to think about. How will you adapt and integrate these buried, powerful tools into your own creative pipeline before Google's dominoes finally fall? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep experimenting out there, and I'll see you in the next one.